Carla's become a haven for the undead.
As a matter of fact, we're almost certain that ghouls and werewolves occupy high positions at City Hall.
Welcome, everyone, to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hello, folks.
You know, what we do is we give a little backstory, our first time watching the movie, our characters that represent us, some fun facts, and then dive into some scenes that we like, followed up with our Kino rating. We're continuing with spooky season this week with The Lost Boys from 1987.
Mm-hmm. Thou shalt not die. This is the year I was born, 1987. Holy smokes.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
He's doxing himself, ladies and gentlemen. Holy smokes.
Yeah, dude. This is it's quite the movie.
I got to be honest with you. I'm a little cracked out today. Not for the usual reasons, though. It's because I stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
Watching this banger of a game last night, 18 innings.
Oh, boy.
And
on a school night?
I fell asleep on a school night, ladies and gentlemen. I fell asleep on the couch like a minute before the dude hit a walk-off.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I tried to stay up, and dude, I was so cooked from the weekend that I tried to stay up. I'm like, all right, kind of following this World Series, I guess, you know, whatever. I hate LA, so I obviously want the Blue Jays to win, but
Dude.
I'm watching this. I'm like, all right, dude, they got these schizos. They got Ohtani and Friedman that are both like god tier baseball players.
Studs. Yeah.
So I kind of knew it was going to happen, so I checked out in the 8th, went upstairs, went to bed.
Dude, Ohtani was at one point in the game 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 doubles.
Scary.
And then he got on base like 6 more times because they just kept walking him.
Yeah, kind of alarming. Dude's a freaking alien.
Alien.
What are you gonna do?
They gave him $700 million for a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to my brother, I was like, isn't that like a little crazy? Like, that's like
Nah, dude.
billionaire status.
He's like Babe Ruth, man. He can freaking pitch and hit as good as one another, and he's got top tier in the league at both. So it's like they should double his contract, if anything.
Yeah, worth every penny, dude. He is a stud and is so clutch too.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
clutch is a good point too. It's like you need dudes who can hit in the clutch, and that's what he does. That's what you pay him for.
That's a big old damn near. How's your week going, sir?
Dude, this is literally hell week for me for work. So I'm going through it, and it's literally Tuesday. It's just a big week. I got a lot going on. So you, on the other hand, how's your week going? I think you're off, aren't you?
It's going phenomenal. I'm doing everything in my power to just sit in my room and stare at the wall. It's everything I thought it could be and more. I have the week off. I take off exactly 12 o'clock.
Jesus.
On January 1st. I'm on that ADP taking my PTO. I get in there and everyone's upset at me.
Yeah, you don't work for like the
there.
last 3 months of the year because you just have off.
Yeah. And
That's the way to go.
Dude, I've been putting in PTO, and I was like, dude, how many days do I have? And Sam's like, you got like 6 days you got to put in. So I just took off like every Tuesday from now to the end of the year. It's insane.
Smart. You're smart. Okay. You wicked smart. Hey, man. That is what it is. Got to use those days. Use them or lose them.
Let me tell you about the Lost Boys. Okay. 2 brothers move to the murder capital of the world and discover it's a haven for vampires. With the help of 2 local comic book shop owners who are hip to what's going on, they set out on a path to destroy all the vampires before one of them fully turns into a vampire and is lost forever.
It's funny you say that because, yeah, that's a nice description. Apparently it's supposed to be, what do they call it? Santa Clara in the movie?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Santa, whatever the hell that town.
Cruz.
Yeah, thank you.
Santa Cruz.
And apparently it was a really bad area back in the day. I don't remember what year.
They had some real life.
Yeah.
It was like in the 70s or something.
Exactly.
They had some serial killers just zipping around back in the serial killer days.
Remember those days?
I guess
Not
you
that
can't
we
do
were
it anymore.
Not that we were, but yeah, it's just weird though. The whole West Coast serial killers in the 60s and 70s. That
People were wilding out.
era.
Dog.
They got away with it.
That's the impressive thing is they got away with it. If you look into Ted Bundy, he got arrested and escaped by just jumping out of the second floor law library building, and then just went to another state like Florida, and got a new license, and he faked it because their license was on cardboard.
Yeah,
their licenses were on cardboard.
Was it that these dudes were so smart, or that the cops were so dumb back then?
The cops were dumb. I'm sure the cops are still dumb, but not only that, but they had no surveillance.
Yeah, that's what
whatsoever.
That's what I was going to say next. They had no tech, so that makes complete sense.
Zero tech. I mean, you could be the greatest detective in the world. If you have zero technology helping you, then it's going to be an uphill battle.
Unless you're Rust Cole.
Unless you're Rust Cole.
We call that intuition. Intuition.
That's the guy has it. The guy has it in his heart.
Mr. Intangibles. He's got all the intangibles.
All the intangibles.
But anyway, let's get back to this movie. Talking about this.
You got a group of vampires here in this movie. This gang, and this is one of the things that just jumped out at me right away. I say, oh, wow, look, you got Kiefer rocking a great look. A blonde mullet, black overcoat. Dwayne, the other guy.
Yeah.
The dark-haired vampire. He's got the hair. He's got the boots. Paul, stereotypical 80s hair metal band guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Right? And then you got Marco.
Bill and Ted, Marco.
You got this guy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and every time I see this movie, I think something's out of place here. You know, had this guy get this role,
Short King.
This is a short king in this group of
vampire
chads, and I'm like, what's going on here? How did he get this role?
That's a great.
I guess they needed some guy to die first. I don't know.
Yeah, he. I'll tell you what I do like the look about these guys is they rock those dangly earrings, which I think was mid 80s into right before the grunge era. It was kind of badass looking. I did see that wasn't Kiefer Sutherland saying he kind of started the mullet with this whole movie. Did I read that?
Yeah, I saw a couple interviews with him where he's basically apologizing to the world because he thinks he started the mullet with this movie.
Oh boy.
And I mean, I'm not sure about the veracity of him starting the mullet with this movie, but I don't think he has anything to apologize for because I think his hair looks friggin' awesome in this movie.
Stellar look. Yeah, it's like a mullet, but it's the whole thing is spiky, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a badass look.
And bleach blonde. Ladies and gentlemen, when I regrow my hairline, it's going to happen. Trust me. I got to meditate long enough for it to happen. When I regrow my hairline, I'm going to bleach my hair blonde and have a mullet just like this. Trust me.
It's coming back. It's already back. I mean, the mullet is back. The Zoomer mullet. But this is actually a little known fact. This is the very first film in the pantheon of Corey Haim and Corey Feldman movies. I don't know if you knew that one.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be two Coreys. I used to be two Coreys. Now I'm one. But I'll tell you what, man, they had really good chemistry in this movie. And it's personally, I'm always been a Corey Haim fan, but I did read that they were hanging out all the time, after filming, going to the arcade and stuff. Cause they're super young. But I just think that they had a really good energy together and a really good rapport, which kind of comes off again, which through the few scenes. But I'll tell you what, this is a quick story for you. I think I may have told this on the podcast before, maybe on a prior movie, but the first film I ever did was a low budget zombie movie, and the bulk of the budget went to this, she's a B-list scream queen, Tiffany Shepis. Anyhow, she was dating Corey Haim before he passed away. And yeah, dude, this chick kind of rules. When she was on set, like I said, it was a lot of the people's first time filming, even the young actors. And she was super patient, super cool, very down to earth. And, she was telling me some wild stories. I think I told you about this, how she just got done filming with Michael Madsen. they were on this another low budget film, but they each had trailers, and she was like, "Oh yeah, dude, Madsen's awesome, man." Like in between takes, she'd be like, "Hey, Shepis, come on into my trailer. Let's do a shot of tequila." It's like, what you see is what you get. This dude, of course. But so yeah, she was dating Corey Haim before he passed away. But she just reinforced the fact that Michael Madsen, kind of my guy. Anyway,
When you said that, I heard it in Madsen's voice.
what's that?
Hey, Shepis.
Hey, Shepis. And this is obligatory almost every episode now, but on the subject of casting, this is the weekly tradition. The lead female star, is she hot?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, dude, super hot.
I mean, I don't really like, she's not like my number one Hollywood actress that I think is hot, but like, I think this is like, I watch this and I think I'm going to go back in the past and remember when I was a normal human again.
Mhm.
And it's like where Michael sees her for the first time.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, it's love at first sight between these two,
Mhm.
right? I forget what that's like.
Is there one
'Cause
is that one that got away from you?
yeah, like I'm unk now.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm extremely jaded with life. I forget what that was like. It brings me back, the Lost Boys,
Did you know this chick is the annoying girlfriend from Twister?
I did not know that.
To think about that,
Now-
the chick with black hair. Remember,
That's-
she goes on
that's a-
all
that's
the tornado hunts with him. That's her.
Dude, I saw Twister in the theaters and then never saw it again.
Okay, well,
Does that blow your
I'll
mind?
tell you what, right now, dude, that's a movie we must review because obviously it has the GOAT, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Of course, you're referring to Bill Paxton.
No, Phil Seymour Hoffman, dog. That's the guy right there. But no, this is her. This is the same chick, and it does not. I don't think that. It does. You can see it, but she just. I don't know. I'm not going to talk smack anyway. I'll tell you what, though. Just generality of this movie. I think it's a great movie because it's really cool. If you really kind of break it down, it's like they know their target audience here. This is 1987, so you can watch it through the eyes of Michael, right? Who's, I guess you want to say, in high school, probably like a junior, senior. They're probably trying to get him to be, and looking for a little bit of freedom, but also you can watch it as this young comic book collecting kid, Sam, right? So it's like you can kind of hit a broad range of people who they thought were going to see this movie, and it is a cult classic. So those are the people who grew up watching it and are now older, obviously. But I don't know, man. It's cool. It's like they're in the storyline. They're both moving to a new area, kind of like a coming of age movie. I just think the writing's really good.
Yeah, and you have the teenage girl market as well because they're all fawning over these.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Like Kiefer and Jason Patric.
Oh yeah.
And and I guess Corey Haim as well. I don't know if he was in that target audience yet as like the dude that
No, but
queens fawn over.
Yeah, but he was a little
getting
younger,
there.
but he has a huge personality in this movie for sure.
And there's the idea of these young boys can identify with the two Coreys because they're having to stop this threat that no one believes them.
Yep.
And it's this larger than life threat that's like almost impossible to imagine you can succeed, but they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So as a young kid, you're kind of identifying that with like, what do I have in my life that I have to overcome?
Man, I really don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is back when they just kind of figured, hey, how do we write movies? What do we write a movie about? Let's make it relatable to the audience. And they did just that in this movie. But yeah, man, I can't remember the first time I saw it. I must have been 13 or so, I would say. I watched the whole thing. I knew the lore about it later on, but I never got into it and like rewatched it. I would see clips or whatever if I'm seeing it playing on TV. I might just kind of watch it in the background, but I would say today was the first time I sat down, scene for scene, watched it, like really paid attention, and yeah, I was glad I did. What about you?
I remember the first time I watched it, I was like 4 years old. And I was deathly scared of vampires when I was little.
Is this because you have
sure.
older siblings, like much older siblings that were probably had it on TV? Or
yes,
schizo dad?
That's 100%. We were over my aunt's house, and my sister Rose and my cousin Jill were watching it. And I'm kind of just like scared out of my mind because something about vampires just did not gel with me. The idea that they bite you and then turn you into one of them is really disturbing to me as a little kid. And I remember watching this with them, and it's one of these jump scare moments, and I'm just like, nah, I'm out of here. I just put my hands over my eyes and just bounce. And that was my first experience with this movie. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this vampire stuff. The creature effects are just too good. It's terrifying looking to me. I'm 4 years old. I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of movies when I was younger where it's like the effects and stuff kind of freaked me out a little bit, so I can respect that for sure.
I mean, as a 4-year-old, I don't understand that vampires aren't real.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, okay, there's these creatures that have fangs and they have superpowers. They can teleport around and stuff. They're super fast. This is terrifying.
Well, seeing as I have a 4-year-old, I'm like constantly telling her that nothing is real. She's asking about Frankenstein because it's Halloween and all these commercials of Frankenstein. I'm like, oh, he's not real. He's just, he's a good guy. He's on TV for Halloween. So it's like, that's kind of the angle that I'm playing it. So, yeah, eventually I think I'm just going to end up showing her some of the movies that I've done and be like, look, it's not real.
Look, I can't fly.
Our friend Allie has a daughter, and she said that was super effective with her kid. She would show her movies and be like, well, if someone she knows like me, it's like I'm all bloodied up, dying. And it's like, oh, look, it's not real. So I think I want to take that tactic. But
no one told me that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like overly cautious because I don't want her having like nightmares and freaking out and waking me up at 2 a.m. So. You watch this movie. Do you have a literally made character? I have an inkling. I know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically one of the Alan Frost, the one that isn't Corey Feldman, wearing fatigues around. Super into guns, even if I don't have any. Vampire hunter.
I figured, yeah,
comic book guy.
Between him and Corey Feldman, I figured that was going to be you. Tell you what. In that case, I guess I would be Sam. I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm Michael because I'm into dirt bikes growing up, zipping around on bikes, going after women and rocking these extremely, extremely cool shades that he has. I just missed them.
Did you ever have a leather jacket like he buys on the boardwalk?
No, I guess leather was before my time, and so was mullets. So I never got to have the curly hair mullet, but I guess I could kind of relate to him, Michael, Guy tries to do the right thing at the end and save his family.
Can we get a commitment from you right now that you will start growing your hair out into a mullet?
Dude, I tried to grow my hair long when I first started getting into acting. It did not turn out well. It does actually get curly, but the thing is when it comes back down in the back, it gets like super bushy. So it does not look good. I can tell you that much. But nowadays with Zoomers and their whole curly like broccoli thing going on, I might be able to get away with that, actually.
Look, for the audience listening, it's over for me. Okay? It's so over. All right. But for Chris, it's not. This young man over here has a full head of hair. He can rock the Kiefer Sutherland mullet if he so chooses next Halloween.
I don't know about all that.
Let's get a commitment right now.
Well, I don't know, because I do like commercials and stuff, and they always want you to look a certain way. So if I show up with a mullet and my headshots are like clean cut, they're gonna be like, bro, get to stepping.
Like even better.
Right? Yeah. Well, the mullets are coming back. So let's get into some of these fun facts here, though. I'll tell you what, this first one is completely insane. Filming began on June 2nd, 1986. Ended on June 23rd, 1986. 21 days of filming. Now, I'm sure you've read what movies, how long they take. These actors got to carve out 3 to 6 months of their schedule. 21 Days is freaking gnarly. This is an hour and a half long movie. That's difficult.
That's a challenge for sure. I mean, I don't know like a lot about it, but just hearing that sounds crazy to me.
Well, you've been on a set before, and you've seen like the whole hurry up and wait and how long it takes to just do makeup and stuff. Especially because it was a movie kind of similar that you were a part of. So it's like, okay,
and that was 2 days.
Wow.
Of stuff, and he didn't finish it in 2 days.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and that's a 5-minute movie too.
And when you get on bigger and bigger sets like this, it's like, okay, there's a lot of coordinating going on, and there's a lot of downtime and killed time. It just tells me that this was shot very efficiently. They had their shit together. It was a good vibe on set, which is cool because I read that Corey Haim had said that this was, on a personal level, one of the best experiences in his entire life, which is pretty crazy. So it tells you that it must have been a real cool vibe on set, which is kind of a shame because then you have that whole thing of him and Feldman talking about how later in life, they're like, we've been through the ringer of Hollywood. Just kind of a shame.
Are you referring to Corey Feldman claiming that Charlie Sheen raped him?
That part, yeah.
He raped Corey Haim, in which in the recent Charlie Sheen documentary, he addressed it and said totally false, and he should have sued Corey Feldman, but he just didn't feel like it at the time. And by the way, he's like, by the way, I'm gay too.
Right. Adding to your
very
case.
Strange.
Adding to your case.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a very strange way of denying it, but
it's kind of
in any event,
no, kind of that's kind of alarming, but I didn't hear that. Feldman, speaking of, almost wasn't in the movie. At the time, he was struggling with drug abuse at a young age and showed up to work coming down from a cocaine binge. Okay, ready for this one? Director Joel Schumacher was very upset. Corey kept dozing off and was unable to continue filming, so he fired him, but hired him right back the next day after Corey apologized and swore he would come to work prepared and on time, which he eventually did. For the record, this dude was 14 years old in this movie.
Yeah.
So think about that. 14 on a cocaine binge. That's kind of gnarly, dude.
Dude, this is the thing about drugs, man. You know, you just can't be doing these kind of drugs. You can't be doing coke. You can't be doing crack.
Well,
unless you're, I guess, Charlie Sheen, who can do it 6-gram rock, and is what he claims. But, you know.
What year did this dude start doing movies? Time after time, he was on set of a movie in 1979. Dude, he was a kid, dude. Friday the 13th, he was 12. Okay, so he's Stand By Me, Lost Boys. Okay, so there you go. So he's been on sets since he's been like 7 years old, but really started getting into movies at 10. So that's wild, dude. That's kind of wild.
Dude, I mean, that is a crazy thing to not, you're 14. Imagine being 14 and you just show up cracked out to this major Hollywood film.
I'd be definitely scared to snort cocaine up my nose. I know that at 14. But I guess if you're around these guys that are doing it on set, it's like, all right, maybe it's not that crazy trying to impress them and all that. So who knows?
Schumacher's like, handle your drugs, dog. Handle your drugs.
Exactly. Little bitch. Any other fun facts you have on your end?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is the dog in this movie is, I guess, often thought of as a husky or whatever, but it's actually an Alaskan Malamute.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of my favorite dog breeds. They're just this giant dog that hauls these what are those, you know, that there's
people don't respect this, but I'll tell you what, man, these dogs, they were the dogs who back in the 1800s polar exploration would not have happened if it weren't for these dogs, man. They're
very stout.
They are just beasts in the snow.
Sled dogs. And I think that Nanook, the dog in this movie, deserves a spot in the pantheon of top movie dogs.
This dog, yeah, but I actually noticed that. I paid attention to the dog. I'm paying attention to watching movies now. It's like I'm paying attention to everything, even the dogs and how good they were. A couple of good boys on set, you could say. But even the white dog, the all white dog that is Max's dog, did a pretty good job of reacting, like trying to bite through the fence there.
Yeah.
And then this dog obviously jumping up on Michael and then jumping up on the other guy at the end, Paul. It's like, yeah, hats off.
He takes out a vampire dog. I mean, that's a pretty good
it's impressive
doggo.
It's impressive.
The title of the movie, The Lost Boys, refers to Peter Pan's Lost Boys.
I was wondering.
You know, these boys that they stay young forever.
Yeah.
And the idea of the movie was originally conceived as this thought of like, what if the reason Peter Pan came out at night and could fly was because he was a vampire?
Nice.
But
I did make me think about, yeah, I thought about that when I was like Lost Boys, and then you remember Lost Boys of Peter Pan. So it's like, yeah, it does surprise me.
That's some guy that had this idea. And then he writes this, I guess, script based on just this, what if this was the reason? And Hollywood makes it a movie.
Imagine that. That would be awesome.
Right? If we could just, that formula we need. Now, okay, what did we just say about Feldman? Maybe stay away from cocaine. But the writers,
no, you're allowed to as a writer.
The writers need to get on cocaine again. We need those guys back on the coke. Please.
Let's get into some of these Kino scenes because I know we have a lot to cover. Right away, you have this title screen pop up and the song Cry Little Sister that ends up playing throughout the movie. Kino, rad, and I'll say, man, the whole soundtrack throughout the movie goes pretty hard. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, absolutely. There's a bunch of tracks where even at the end, the Echo and the Bunny Men, I forget what the song's called, but it's People Are Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's their version of it, you know? Very nice, very 80s, very
this movie's
iconic.
Just an 80s vibe for sure. No question.
One of the things I like in this movie is opening scene, they show it off right away, where they kill the security guard that tells them to get off the boardwalk. But it introduces us to what I'll call vampire vision, where these guys are flying, but you don't exactly know what's going on at the very beginning of the movie because the camera's just way up in the air and it's coming down on this guy walking across the parking lot. And it's the perspective of the vampires. And you're like, wait a second, are they flying? Yes, they are. They are flying. And I like, you never see them flying until the very end of the movie.
Right.
And it's kind of cool because it's you see the reaction of the people looking up at them, and they're terrified of what they're looking at, and your mind fills in what it is that they're looking at,
right? And
whatever, I mean, if they showed it on film for real, it would probably pale in comparison to what you're thinking is going on in your mind, like what these guys are looking at and everything.
Well, the reason they didn't do that is because they couldn't hide the harness straps. There's a scene where you can see Michael's harness. They didn't even take it out of the final footage. So maybe that's why. But no, it looks way more terrifying when you're coming over top. It's like we saw in John Carpenter's Vampires at the end there, where it's like that last scene where he's jumping towards them.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot. I mean, especially with the 80s, it's going to come off looking real cool.
And they do this weird noise too. That's, I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be, a bat noise or something.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it's supposed to signify that these are the vampires that are flying at you. And
the one problem
the
one problem that I do have is like, he's had this scene where, I mean, it's 1987 and the couples in the car, and it's actually that, to get even more into it, the chick is just reading this like comic book / magazine and she's laughing at it, and the dude's like trying to hook up with her. It's super awkward. But more importantly, they rip off the top of this car and then pull him out. Now, the question of physics comes into play here. How do they rip off the top? And you see this in that show, The Boys, which I don't watch, but I've seen a ton of clips because Homelander. And Homeland, they want him to stop a plane. And he's like, I don't have anything to push against. How am I supposed to stop it? So the point, I guess, relating back to this is, how are they just going to rip the top of this car off when they're not standing on anything? Because they're in the air flying and they just come down and rip it off and then pull him right up. You don't see them on the ground pulling it up. They're in the air. The force, the gravitational force, it won't allow it.
Yeah. I don't understand exactly. It does look strange when you look at the footage of it.
I mean, I'm nitpicking, but.
Well, perhaps. But, the thing is that not only that, but they take the guy up in the air. I like that. Why don't you just kill him right there? But they pick him up into the air. Are they just playing with him so they can like launch him on the ground? Perhaps, because they do seem a little sadistic, but
yeah.
In any event.
Well, you have the opening scene here and they're going to Grandpa's house. You have this Chad Michael with this bike. He's got like this stupid Honda. I don't even know what it is. RX something. Anyway, he's riding that, establishing fact that he's Chad. He comes in the house, unpacks his waist, starts doing curls. Like, what?
Mm. And it's those
Respect.
old at-home weight sets that are plastic.
Oh, yeah. They're plastic and rounded, like super rounded.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Got to keep the pump.
He's just trying to get a quick pump, dog. Like,
oh, yeah. He knows he's going to the boardwalk that night with a couple girls. They're going to be out there.
And there. Damn near. The grandpa's house, it's actually like super nice. You notice he's got this giant property out there in Southern California.
Yes.
What's he do exactly?
Right on the water. Because when Sam takes out the car with the two Frog brothers, they're like zipping around the coastline there. It's like this cliff. It's like,
yep.
How much is that property going for nowadays? I thought the exact same thing.
$1 million at least. And it's all.
Dude, try a couple mil.
It's that the style, the house, everything. It's just fantastic. And I'm like, this is a single guy. Yep. What's he doing?
Yep. Hard to say. Is he an inventor? Because it keeps showing him with like that.
Buy a house.
His little thing. I don't know what the hell the guy's doing the whole movie, but the grandpa's actually pretty funny. So
listen, I realize, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 80s. They're a silly, over the top time period. I get it. Okay. But have you seen anything more random and insane than the saxophone player scene? Easily could have gone with a simple band or some 80s singer at the time, but no. They chose a large, roided, oiled up, shirtless guy. Mm-hmm. Really makes you think, does it not?
Well, I know you know who this is. This is Tim Capello. He's just roided to the gills, and he actually, to this day, plays sax for, I think, quite a few synthwave bands, which is what we listen to on occasion. Mm-hmm. The band Gunship, who I think is probably the best synthwave band on earth, besides the Midnight. He's with them like regular. I think he does 1 or 2 songs each album. But to your point, the amount of oil is rather alarming, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the Tim Capello.
He's getting after. Oh, he's getting after it in the movie. No question about that.
And the song slaps. Still holds up. I'm just like, dude, why is this in the movie exactly?
And it's like, when you think about it too, they're on the pier or this boardwalk or whatever on like a random whatever night, and this dude just solo sax maxing, and the whole crowd's getting into it. It's like, all right, man. I guess I missed the cocaine party.
Yeah,
it is kind of wild.
Coke. So that leads us directly into my next point, where I'm watching this initiation ritual of Michael. They go into the condemned hotel and everything, and I'm just like, how gay is this movie exactly?
How gay is it?
Yeah,
I guess pretty gay.
Is that be one of us, Michael? Like, think about what he's doing.
One of us.
They literally start chanting it. Think about what's going on in this scene. He's following all these dudes into this hotel. I guess he's trying to make friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they just like start messing with him. So he's kind of like antagonistic towards these guys. And David's trying to be nice or whatever and just messes with him. And then he's like, "Here, try this."
Yeah.
And it gets like super serious. And they're like, "Bravo!" And just start clapping. And then I'm like, what is it? What is going on? This is a little weird, right? Then there's a whole train bridge scene where they go out to this bridge and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this whole thing of like, we're initiating you into our world of
gay vampires
or being gay. But, holding on, they jump down on the rails and they're all holding on. And it's like, I'm holding on
to his straightness
with all my might to being straight. And then, he finally lets go into this white mist and just floats around. I'm gay now.
This white mist of goo. Goo mist.
Is this vampire theme in this movie a metaphor for being gay?
Well, I've heard this theory before. Again, not that I've ever been too into this movie, but I've heard it before. And honestly, you can look no further than the director, which I refer to, Joel Schumacher.
Mm-hmm.
Very gay guy. But he directed Phone Booth. And if you remember Batman and Robin with Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, remember that one?
Yeah, where they had the nipples on the bat suit.
What'd you think about that? Well, there you go.
I saw it in the movie theater. I saw that in the movie theater. I was like,
this movie
this is a little too goofy and silly for me.
Well, I got a 3.7 on IMDb, which I don't think is fair. I think that movie was entertaining enough to get like a 6. But this guy directed that Batman movie. He's like, okay, everything looks good. We just need nipples on the bat costume. So there you go. I mean, it's like, you think he's not the key decision maker to oil up Tim Capello? It's
more oil, sir.
It's more oil.
Dude, Phone Booth also had Kiefer Sutherland in it.
Oh yeah.
Are these two a tandem, a duo?
Oh yeah. Well, when typically when directors like one of their actors, or whether it's the music person, whoever writes the score, they'll bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
One. Now that you mentioned casting, one that I do want to point out. This is kind of my guy. I don't know if you know Ed Herrmann, who plays Max in the movie.
Yeah,
he's been in quite a few things. His best role, a personal favorite of mine, is the dad in Richie Rich, which is kind of my movie growing up. So we're going to have to cover that one at some point. I don't know what people out there, your thoughts are on Richie Rich, but this is a movie that was in the grouping of VHSs me and my brothers had and would watch on these long car rides. It was like, I don't know why. It's just like, it's such a great movie. It's like you're a kid, and what would it be like if you were rich? I could like do whatever you want. Like Blank Check, same kind of idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's. But
in this movie,
he does play like such a great character in that movie. He's like awesome. So I like Ed Herrmann.
It's such a strange character in this movie.
It is.
You're like, what is this guy's motivation? He's creating vampires, these dudes, and you find out later in the movie he wanted Lucy the whole time.
Yeah, it's kind of
what
weird.
does that mean exactly? When she walked in his video store, or when she came into town initially, and like what?
I caught that
was
as well.
Was he manipulating things so that the events of the movie were all due to him?
I think I think it's just the script coming off weird.
Yeah,
I don't think that the whole point of the movie was based around him getting her. But it reads that way, and it could have been that, but I don't know. It wouldn't make any sense in my opinion.
Think about this: if it was that, why would he care about this random woman in her like 40s?
At this point,
with 2 kids, with 2 like adult maybe, kids,
with their short hair.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was very strange. I guess they needed that to do the whole movie, like
because the movie has to happen
along, and you don't know that he's the head vampire. They think that he is.
I think it's just convenient.
Do that whole thing where maybe he's not, but then the vampires go to his house at night and drop a bat kite on him.
Yeah, he's maxing, dude.
Kill him.
He's maxing. Well,
he's got a great wardrobe in this movie. I'd like to add.
He He does. Facts. No, I can't speak to that whole thing. I think it was just the lazy kind of, we have to have this, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, on the boardwalk, we're talking about the boardwalk. I think are you a big comic book guy? Because this comic book store and the comic book scene is rather rad.
This movie in general, but also this specific scene you're referring to where they're in the comic book store, it reminds me of Ocean City, New Jersey.
There you go.
Because it has a very similar boardwalk where at the end there's the amusement park with the merry-go-round. And there used, this stuff, I don't think it even exists anymore in Ocean City. They probably tore it down, but there used to be a comic book store.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it.
And in the comic book store, there was kind of comics just strewn about randomly, no rhyme or reason, which is an interesting kind of line in this movie where Corey Haim is saying to the Frog Brothers, well, you can't have Superman, X here with the other Superman because, they didn't discover red kryptonite yet. It was like, they would like, does anyone say that? I don't think so. No. Comic book fans, I don't think they'd really care that much, but
no,
I don't know. Yeah, my brother used to get comics and I would read them in the late 90s and 2000s and everything.
Dude, my brother had I have to ask him about this, but he had one of the original, I think it was the original Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Way before the show came out, before it was popular. I think they released the comic and he had it like the first issue. I know it's worth like a good amount of money. I mean, it's probably nothing compared to what some of them are, but I just remember him telling me, I'm like, dude, where you got to find that thing? I don't know if you ever found it, but
that was like a little bit after I was done reading comics. Like at some point, my brother just stopped buying comics.
Right.
And it was a little bit after that they came out with the Walking Dead. And then that guy who made that comic is just like became super successful. His story is actually pretty incredible itself. But it was basically, he just created these comics, kind of like the Turtles comics when we were talking in the Turtles episode.
Oh, yeah.
This guy just made this comic and then it blew up. And now he's got that show that probably gave him $1 trillion, and he made Invincible, which is that super popular cartoon now, probably double trillionaire.
Double trillion, folks.
I think the lesson from this is to make comic books in your garage, and you'll become a trillionaire.
Did he buy any crypto, you think?
Probably created crypto. He's probably the guy who created Bitcoin.
Another thing that's kind of on that comic book line is then you have Michael into dirt bikes. And I want to just point out that, did you ride dirt bikes and foils growing up?
Nah, I never got into them.
Dude.
I was just BMX bikes.
Okay. This was like my upbringing. So we're out in the country and, I got 3 brothers. It's like, if I could explain to you, like we had a 4Trax 90, which is like this little tiny Honda for, young teens, if not younger. Dude, if I could tell you the amount of hours I spent on that, and then our blaster, we end up getting a Yamaha blaster. Bro, just because you're out there, that's your method of transportation. You can't drive. You're not old enough to drive yet. But I do want to point out that David has this custom Triumph, you see, because when they all pull off, they all have like those cool squared lights.
Yeah.
And then Michael has this Honda. It's like a piece of shit. It's like,
I think he makes mention of it.
He said, he's like, I can't keep up.
Come with us.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't race you on my bike.
They all have these like
you don't have to race us, Michael.
Yeah.
You just have to try to keep up.
Man, I'm telling you what.
Whoa. Well, dude, I mean, you're into these dirt bikes, when you're driving into Philly in the rare occasion and you see these guys on dirt bikes zipping around, are you like, damn?
I just look over, I'm like, respect.
How do I join this? Respect.
Bro, there's dudes riding horses in downtown Philly. You know about those horse guys or whatever?
Are you referring to Black Cowboys?
Yeah. That's what they call themselves. It's pretty badass.
There's a lot of like wild stuff going on in Philly. Like I see these dirt bike dudes and I guess they'd crack down on them or whatever, but I always see them like It looks pretty awesome. It looks pretty fun. How do I get involved in this?
But that's the point is, I'm out there in the countryside and I got all this endless area to ride. It's like if you're down in this, a teen down in the city and you want to ride a dirt bike or four-wheeler, you're not hitching that thing on the back of a car in Philly and then driving all the way out to the sticks to ride it. It's like, I can respect it.
Yeah. This next scene, God, this is one of those scenes where when we were talking about doing a podcast, I instantly thought of this scene. It's where the vampires attack the punk rockers on the beach.
Yeah.
At their fire pit. And first off, dude, like the great use of lighting and shadow to conceal David's face because he's normal. These guys all go up in this tree. They're normal at first. And they're like, Michael, come up here. And he knows something weird's going on because he thinks that that he's a vampire, but you don't know until you see it. Right. So he thinks something's weird's going on, and he reluctantly goes into the tree, and then it uses this shadow. So David says something, and then it cuts away to Michael, and then it cuts back, and it has the jump scare where David turns his face, and it's like the super vampired out face, right? And Michael's reaction, he's like, "Ah!" And it perfectly matches the audience's reaction to the jump scare,
Yeah.
But great scene, great part there. But is this the best vampire makeup all time?
I mean, it's pretty good. I got to think about what would be good vampire makeup.
I mean, I think this sets the bar.
That's a good way to put it. Sets the bar. I mean, I'll tell you what.
The only one I could think of, John, not the one we just did. Bram Stoker's Dracula is pretty good too.
See, I'm not as versed on vampire movies as you are, but I will say that in the scene where they're killing all of them, where they splash, I think Feldman splashes holy water on his face, and they get that kind of burn effect. His face is kind of peeling off. Pretty good. I mean, they have like these ridges on their for sure.
On their face that pops out, and their eyes are super red and everything.
I was going to say
cool.
the use of the contacts, the colored contacts for their eyes, it's pretty badass. I do like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, our buddy Ryan. Side note, quick story. When we were doing the movie with it was like on this train scene on like this old, Western TV star that's like, he's like a Western guy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I really want you to have green eyes. I'm like, all right, well, can you do it in post? It's like, try putting these contacts in. Dude, me and contacts just aren't happening. They don't work. I've just in the past like 2 years learned how to put eye drops in. So he's trying to get me put it in, I'm like, bro, this ain't happening. I was like, you'd have to do this in post. There's no way in hell. I can't even get this thing in. It's falling over the place. But yeah, it would be a different story if it was something like this, I guess. But I don't know if I could do that. The whole contact thing kind of freaks me out.
It's hard. Yeah, dude, like I hate putting anything in my eyes, especially I've seen my one friend growing up had contacts, and I would see him like mess around with them, and it would get stuck in his upper eye.
I'm good.
And I was like, dude, what the? I watched him like push his finger in and like move it down his eye. I was like, bro, dude, this is too much for me. And
gnarly. I can't.
That's a regular contact. These dudes are wearing these insane glass.
But it does look good, man. It looks real sharp for the movie.
Yeah. But the thing I really wanted to mention is that the vampires fly into the punk rockers and start murdering them. And the camera cuts really quick because it's a way to not show too much gore. And you don't really see, too much graphic detail of what's going on, but these guys are getting murked, right? Then it cuts really fast. For a split second, you see David biting the top of some guy's head.
I was just going to say
and
that.
Blood shoots out.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, holy smokes, dude, that is hardcore. I see this, I wonder, okay, Kiefer Sutherland must have been like, hey, we got a great scene here, guys. Really good stuff. We're murdering these guys.
It's looking good.
Looks vicious. What if, hear me out here, what if I bite the top of this guy's head open and blood shoots out? You see, because this would be above and beyond what a normal vampire would do, because David is super hardcore. He would bite the top of this guy's head and have it explode with blood. How's that sound? And they go with it.
How do you know it was Kiefer? How do you know?
I don't. I'm just.
How do you know it was the director? It's like,
this is a whole hypothetical scenario that I made up in my mind of what happened in this scene, of how this came to be.
Funny you say that, because I'm watching it and I'm like, I do vaguely remember that part from before seeing clips and stuff, or probably maybe when I was younger. But I'm like, I watched that and I'm like, what? The practicality of biting the top of his head? I thought it was always the neck, and it's just. But to your point, it's like, okay, it's a gory scene, and like it's like a real aggressive battle / fight, but it just looks completely insane. Yes,
and the way they do it, where it's a split second, where you see it, and it's almost so quick that you're like, wait, what did I just see?
Yeah,
what was that? Right?
I don't know.
The way they did that is kind of awesome. I thought
weird. Then you have Max comes over for dinner. I don't know if he caught this, but the grandpa kind of, I don't know why they showed it, but they just see him peek out of this little sliding door at Max. And it's like he knows he's somehow suspect. I don't know if he knows that he's a vampire. Maybe something else, another unworldly figure. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he does know, because I think it foreshadows what happens, because what he's looking at is the fact that Max specifically goes, hey, you're the man of the house now, Michael. Will you invite me in? Yeah. And he saw that, was like, wait a second, dude. No way. This dude could be a vampire. Because at the end of the movie, the last line is one thing I can never stomach about Santa Clara, all the damn vampires.
Yes.
So he know, and then you find out, like, this dude knew that there was vampires here the whole time.
This grandpa rules. Don't get it twisted. I mean, he has few lines in the movie. His first lines, he's talking about how you don't touch the second layer of the fridge because it's for his root beers and his candy bars or some shit. And it's like, he stops Michael. He's like, Michael, what did I tell you about borrowing the car? What was the first rule? He's like, I don't know. He's like, you fill up the gas. Now you know. It's like, this dude kind of rolls his grandpa throughout the movie. I'm not going to lie. One thing I want to bring up here, though, is you have this montage scene. And I think you kind of touched on this when we were kind of talking about the beginning of the movie, but it's like, this really reminds me of how fun these type of movies used to be. It's like the 80s. I think that it was more of an 80s thing. The montage was a lot of 80s movies, like going into the 90s. But the whole idea of prepping for the big scene, I think it kind of rules. Did you catch that? I know you.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. They're getting the BMX bikes. They're zipping into town and going into the church with canteens and filling their canteens up with holy water.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, dude, why didn't the guy think about this for a second? Now, we covered John Carpenter's Vampires, and they're shooting these vampires in that movie with all these guns and stuff. Zero effectiveness. Okay, why didn't they think to just get holy water? Like, they got a priest on hand.
Good point. Yeah, right.
Just get a giant super soaker and fill it with holy water.
That's it.
And shoot these dudes in the face with holy water.
That's all you had to do. All along.
Right?
All along.
These kids are more effective at killing vampires than full-blown adults with automatic weapons.
Minimal
Think
tech.
about that for a second.
Minimal tech and weaponry.
Minimal tech. Is that because kids inherently just believe in the supernatural more?
It's perhaps. Nah, I just, like I said, man, I just love the whole getting prepped up. Like you said, the holy water going to the church. And then that whole fight scene is kind of, it's less graphic. I don't know how to describe it, but I think you touched on it. It's like, you have John Carpenter's vampires, and it's like, they're all adults, and they have to go in, they have the whole strategy, how to eradicate them. Whereas this is on the fly with these kids.
Yeah.
And it's all the typical Because I think he says it in John Carpenter's Vampires, like, okay, well, all those things aren't true about vampires, yada, yada, yada. So they tried to make it more realistic, but it's like, with this, it's like all those cliches are true. So
Right.
that's how they beat him. But it's fun, dude.
And
That's all I'm trying to say.
The idea of you're a kid, and again, no one's coming to help you as a kid to fight vampires because you're the only one that knows that they're real.
Right.
And every adult, every
Yes.
kind of authority figure in your life would laugh in your face if you told them that vampires existed. In fact, it happens in this movie where Sam tries to tell his mom multiple times and she just yells at him. And it's like, yes, it's the idea of as a kid, I'm right. The adults are wrong.
Always has been.
And now my life's on the line.
Oh, yeah. Always has been. I will say this. I do love the wardrobes in this movie. I love the soundtrack. I love the shots. I love the actors. You brought up practical effects. And I want to hear you out on this. I do love certain parts of it. I don't like the bat feet that look completely insane. There's some parts of the effects that I did not like. The shooting of the blood out of the bathtub and all that was kind of cool, but it's just like I'm 50-50 on it. Talk to me.
Yeah. I didn't understand the bat feet at all because it just shows them as hanging upside down for this one scene. But did their feet morph back into regular feet?
Yeah, they're wearing boots, right? Don't they wear boots in the movie or something?
I didn't understand exactly what was going on there. I tried not to think too much into it, but the look of it's kind of cool. The practical effects in this movie are cool. Where it fails is when they try and show these vampires flying.
Yeah.
At the end, and you're like, oh, it's just a guy floating around. That's not necessarily scary at all. It's just it's weird looking. But when they should have never shown the vampires flying.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
it would have made a way more a bigger impression to not. It's assumed.
Well, every time they are flying and you get it from their perspective, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Because
they're chasing something and people are terrifyingly running away and they're screaming.
Right.
So whatever they're looking at must be the most crazy looking thing possible. And then at the end of the movie, they're just flying around. It's just a guy floating around. It's like,
yeah, why would you divulge
And plus,
that?
it doesn't look great. Yeah, it's not great. I don't like that. Let's go back in time and erase that.
Well, another thing I wanted to point out I mentioned earlier was that whole scene where, like, the death scenes and they're killing all the guys in the end, like the final showdown or whatever. But I want to point out that I don't know if it was intentional or not, but they have the dog jump up and attack Michael earlier in the movie because they must have known that he was a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in the bathroom, it jumps up and attacks Paul, the other vampire dude. I just think that that's like a good kind of repetition thing. It's just a nice touch to have. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I just always like when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, it just shows that the dog is apt to attack something so it's not just comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh, of course the dog would just jump up and, tackle him into the bathtub or whatever. So it just makes it
the dog's the real hero in this movie.
The dog is the real hero in this movie. By the way, side note, the actor who plays Paul is Brooke McCarter. This guy's from Berwyn, PA. Press F. Guy passed away years ago.
Oof. He died though, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of has a great
IRL.
look. He has a fantastic look in this movie, dude.
Got an awesome look. They all do.
He's this hair metal band looking vampire, and he just looks cool.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that they did right, is that all these vampires they all look super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, damn, that'd be kind of fire to be like a vampire.
Well, that's why
I could just rock this look.
This movie, I don't know how it did in the box office, but I do remember growing up, they're like, dude, this movie, and it just had like a lore to it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, they're cool. So I think that's kind of what they were going for. But
I think they succeeded for sure.
Well, they have. Another thing is when Sam shoots Dwayne, the other vampire, into the stereo system. He says the line, "Death by stereo." There's an awesome hardcore band. I don't know if you're into hardcore like metal, but there's a band called Death by Stereo that I kind of grew up on, and they have the audio of that whole clip at the beginning of like their best album. He's like, only once, pal. He's like, "Arr!" He's like, Death by Stereo. It's pretty awesome. Side note.
It's funny because this guy, Dwayne, both of these vampires, Paul and Dwayne, they kind of just suck. They get destroyed.
Yeah, I thought about that too. But then it's like, how technical do you want it to be? Then it turns into, because to your point, dude, he's just walking up on the Frog Brothers. And it's like, I'm waiting for, dude, you could just theoretically just put your hand through their chest if you wanted to.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you could rip his head off. Like, these guys have been murdering people every night for how many years now? I don't know how old they're supposed to be. They could be 100 years old. Who knows? But they get in this house and they're kind of just like pushing him around.
It is weird.
And you're like, dude, that's the terror of these guys is in what's not shown. Even the scene where they are killing the punks on the beach, again, it's all these quick cuts. You have no idea what's really happening. You can kind of see it, right?
Yep.
But they get in the house, everything is shown, and it's like, okay, it's not that impressive anymore when everything's shown on screen, because you're like, they just look like a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Right? Dwayne gets shot with an arrow, and then he gets up and he goes, "You missed." And then Sam is like, "Not this time," and just shoots him again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, don't you have superpowers? Don't you have super speed? Like, why can't you just dodge that?
A lot of questions there. And I mean, is he going to accurately shoot him with a proper bow and arrow like that? It's not a crossbow. It's just like a weaved bow and arrow. I don't know about all that, but it's the movie. It's fun. That's all.
So Max comes in. They find out, oh, Max is the head vampire after all. Oh, wow. And, the grandpa backs up his truck. And, like, how would he know that Max was just standing there? Yeah. Just, the hell with it. I might run over my own daughter and grandson, but the hell with it. Let me just drive through the wall of my house.
He has a little peephole because he's always peeping around, that grandpa. So he lipped in real quick, saw I was in, and he backed the truck up. But yeah, it was weird.
Max bites it, and this cracks me up, though, is he explodes into a fireball.
Yeah.
And it cuts to the Frog Brothers, and they both have their goggles on, and you can't really hear them, but they're like throwing their fists up. They're like, "Yeah, motherfucker!" And I love how into it they are that they killed this dude.
Because but they really are like the two most fun characters of the movie. I mean, Haim is the main character, and he's outgoing. He keeps chiming in these one-liners or whatever. But the Frog Brothers are great, man. They're two great characters for this film. Love it.
What would you give this movie there?
I would go. This hits the 8.1 mark for me. You got great 80s vibe and soundtrack. Even though it's a vampire movie, it's got the whole coming of age, and the story's pretty well written. This movie's like I said in the beginning, it's kind of more of a vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Like a vibe that doesn't exist anymore.
Correct. But at the time, people were into it. It was a whole vibe.
It's in the past. They took this vibe from us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yourself?
This is my culture as a 80s Southern Californian. Everyone knows that.
What did you think of this thing? What do you got?
I give this movie an 8. We're right in the same. We're thinking the same thing here. Strong points. I mean, incredible creature design in this movie. Very cool wardrobe. Very cool characters. Short and sweet little flick. An hour and a half.
Yes.
Again, we don't need 3-hour movies. I don't need Avengers Endgame to figure out the ins and outs of vampires and David.
Hour and a half.
I don't need that.
Fun movie shot in 21 days, folks. Very impressive.
And great 80s vibes. There you go.
What do we got next week?
Inherent Vice.
Okay.
Actually, that's a big you movie.
That's one of my buddy Frankie, our buddy Frankie. That's one of our, I would say, most quoted movies. Paul Thomas Anderson again. I hate to have to throw back-to-back Paul Thomas Anderson movies in there, but yeah, it's a good one, folks. If you haven't seen that one, choo. But anyway, this concludes spooky season for us. Until next year, Lost Boys. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Catch you on the next one.